Let's see if those notifications go out, people. People. Oh, yeah, I was cleaning this. I wonder if it got clean. In my, oh, I hear noises. I hear noises. I better fix them before we start hearing more noises back. And the noises get noisier. And then there's even noisier noises. We don't know about how noisy these noises can be. Quite noisy, I'm told. Quite noisy, I am told. Oh, why are you so noisy? All right. Enough of that. I am in the process of trying to clean off my carb cap here. Oh, man. So Pinoy gave me this oil, just a dish of alcohol. And, man, it worked so good. It got my carb cap nice and clean. Man, look at that, guys. Look at that. There's a little stain in there, but it's not that bad. It actually looks great. So, yay. Hello, everybody. There's a news story out I just read that Zelensky almost got hit by a missile 500 meters off. Man, can you imagine being 500 meters away from one of those missile blasts? So, I guess they weren't really aiming for Zelensky, but I wish they would. I wish they would. I don't like him. I'd like to see him gone forever. And he's a huge part of the problem that's going on over there. And he seems to think that prolonging the war is the and people die in Ukraine, more Ukrainians dying, and even more other armies sending their soldiers in to die. That's the best answer. So screw that guy. I want him gone. And if the next missile hits him and does away with him, I will dance a jig of all dances on here. Token Tony Z, hello. Craig Allen, hello. Let's start the IG. Okay, hello. Great. Meg Z, hello. I hope Australia is treating you well today. We're looking at Harmony prices at 3146 right now, 3146. And Bitcoin is at 66962, 44, 78. So I remember earlier today we were watching 666, we went up to 667, we went up to 67. I mean, we went back down. I'm hoping that we have this rising wedge pattern. What am I on? The 24-hour, man. It's a crazy. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's like a heartbeat. It's really not showing much of any movement. So, missed it by that much. Better luck next time. And I mean that with all sincerity. Better luck next time. I hope you get them on the next one. I mean, I'm sure they're worried about the repercussions from doing that. And that's sad. I think a lot of people in the United States would feel a great sigh of relief if that guy got eliminated. A lot of Americans would. Mostly the anti-war Americans. Lordy Nordy, oh, I haven't seen you. Asa, hello. Lordy Nordy, hello. Craig Allen, hello. So close. So close. Better luck next time. I wish they had kind of missed that shot by 500 meters. You know what I mean? Moo. Okay, Cyber, take it easy, buddy. All right. Excellent, excellent. I will, I'm going to walk out of the Discord. Very good, very good. I hope you feel better, bro. I did some work around the yard. I dropped a couple pounds over the last few days. I'm feeling good about that. I'm down to 197 and a half. Just wanted to say hi. Hi. Oh, I just enabled chat timers. Oh, no, that's okay. No big deal. Yeah, I went into your room over there, but that's cool. Oh yeah, I just turned on the chat timers. I have to turn that off, don't I? That's a little bit of a pain, isn't it? Restream chat. Give me just a second. I got to turn these chat timers off. It's the bot, right? No. Not the bot. It's not the bot. It's the reply commands. There, disable. Cool. Okay. Disable. Very good. Okay, go lay down. Go feel better, bro. Take care of yourself. Good. Thank you for saying hello, Cyber. Cyber says, hey, everybody. Let's get that Bumblebee over here. And let's get that up on screen. Bumblebee up on screen. Rumble chat. There we go. Rumble's up on screen. Ryan Webb. Hey, Nay, everything's getting carried away now in Gaza and Ukraine now. When Trump becomes president and stops funds to Ukraine, Putin going to carry on through Europe and put as all boots on the ground, mate. And stops funds to Ukraine? That's a fair assessment. Yeah, ending war would be nice. With Ryan, with people saying that, with an attitude like yours, it's going to be really easy for Donald Trump to become president and beat Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is doing nothing to end these wars. And people are sick of the wars. Nobody wants to see our money being spent on somebody else's war. Right? It achieves nothing. It's not protecting us. We haven't been safe. You know, in fact, United States policy has resulted in the situation that we're in right now. So there's no way you could tell us that spending all the money on everything that you've done in foreign policy is keeping us safe. It's not. It hasn't kept us safe. It's done the opposite. And you can't tell me any different, because all I have to do is turn on the news or go look out my fucking window. Anyway, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. 30 seconds tops. Just had to close the doors because it might get a little hot up in this bitch. It might get a little hot up in here, folks. Ryan Webb's heating me up. Ryan, what's up? Definitely war ain't good. Definitely for other good defo for other countries. They totally understand where you're coming from. War ain't good. It's definitely not good. War is not good. That is for damn sure. War is not good. 66, 979, 18. 978. We're keeping our eye on that, guys. If we go to another all-time... Now, Bitcoin already hit an all-time high yesterday. 160 or something like that. Or 180. $69,180. It went like $180 over the all-time high. We'll see if we do it again today. If we go higher. 984, guys, getting real close to 67,000. It's exciting. Okay. Everyone tells Cyber to feel better. Yes, definitely feel better, Cyber, if you heard us. Um, Maybe Russia could use bigger bombs. You know, if Russia had used like a mother of all bomb in that 500-meter radius, they would have killed Zelensky. Use bigger bombs, Russia. What's wrong with you? Let's get this thing done. Done and dusted. Let's get it handled. The man, the myth, the legend. Sup, yo, Enoch, that's you. That's you. What's up? Sorry, we'll change subject. Feel better, Cyber. No, that's okay. You don't have to change subject, bro. This is the subject of the title of the video. It's what we're talking about. So you're right on target. Damn, I'm not making money today. The markets are doing good. No shorts today. That's good to hear that, though, from you. It's really good to hear that. It is nice to hear. Because that means when traders aren't making money, hodlers are. You know? And I'm a hodler. $999, there we go, 67,000. Boom. There it is, guys. Back up into 67 territory. Where are we going to go? I don't know. I don't know. We don't have any patterns to go by. Everything is just, it's almost a flat line. I could look at the 7-day. Giant head and shoulders. And then another, and then a double bottom. So we're looking good, man. We're looking very good on the 7-day. If 7-day chart patterns work, I don't know if they do, but we've definitely got a double bottom and an inverse head and shoulders on the 7-day chart. Okay, great. So Donald Trump could become the next president of the United States again. I don't see Biden beating him again. I just don't see it happening. I mean, he's not pulling out of these wars, and that's what people want to see. I think there's a lot more Americans who are getting sick of this battle cry. You know, we're just sick of it. You know, we're not all like, you know, America, fuck yeah, anymore. Nobody's like that anymore. We're just like, yeah, starving babies, bombing and missile attacking babies, you know, upending graveyards, bombing hospitals and schools, leaving neighborhoods decimated, famine for the whole region. Yeah, I've had enough, and I hope everyone else in America's had enough too. And I hope every single one of you that has ever gone to the other side on this one, I hope that you pay a dear price for being so stupid and not listening to those of us who've been screaming since the beginning. I really hope that all of you can never sleep or look at yourselves in the mirrors again once you realize how wrong you were about this. I hope the guilt drives you to off yourselves. I really do. All of you that have been egging on this stupid fucking genocide. Fuck all of you. And, you know, I think my mother is finally starting to come around on this. It's actually, there's light at the end of the tunnel. My mom, when she saw, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter. I put up tweets all day. You know, I'm at Nay's Garden on Twitter. You would have seen this tweet. I put up something about them feeding the IDF soldiers. If you watch, Billy Bond says, fuck Israel. Age may be the only thing that stops both of them. New blood. Enough's enough. Stop the genocide now. Right? Yeah, so anyway, like, if you want to see that tweet, I'm not going to tell you about it. You're just going to have to go to Twitter and go see it for yourselves. But that's the tweet I think that's the one that finally got her to wake up and kind of just, like, snap out of it. New blood something did. I meant. Anyway, we've broken 67,200 now, guys. That's exciting. You know what else is exciting? Dabs. Dabs are exciting. I like doing dabs. And I'm going to do one now. And I'm going to do a double dab. I'm going to take a little of this Runts, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of this Pinoy Growers. I think I'll do the mustard gas. Why not? I say donate to Palestinians. Google blocks my messages. Wow. Fuck Google, dude. Fuck all these motherfuckers. They're all tied in together. I can't open this. Oh, there it is. You gotta squeeze it in the right place, man. Okay. Let's see. Alright, man, we got the Runts and the mustard gas mixed together. Get it together. Get it together. You got some dabs in your joint, son. Cheers. Stop the genocide. Let's get high up in this bit, Megsy. Oh, Megsy, look at you. Look at you. Let's get high up in this bitch. Smoking some... Oh, Louis. Yes, is that Louis the 14th? Or is it Henry the 8th? I don't know. I forgot. Is it Louis something? I don't know. Anyhow, let's put this back like this. Let's get this torch. Let's get the torch a-torching. End the war machine and stop the genocide. Exactly, Tony. Okay, the time is... It'll be 2020. 2020. Was cleaning my PS4 Pro. Oh my god, son, the fan was so damn dirty. Gamer life. Yeah. Beaslin Enoch, is somebody using tobacco inside that room where you are? Because tobacco smoke can really make dust stick to computer parts really bad. I noticed when I used to detail cars, the worst windshields were the ones of people who smoked inside the cars. And there would be a haze on all the glass. So if it sticks to glass, it sticks to everything. You know? Okay, 2020 I said. Where are we at? Okay. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. 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 Cheers, hon. Cheers, babe. I think she's got headphones in. Oh, cheers. Oh! What's up, baby?
It's ringing. Oh yeah.
It's Cassie. I got the alien. That's a tasty hit. That was super duper tasty. Kazzy, if you're watching the live show, I don't take calls while I'm live, bro. What you should do is chat with me in the chat on my show. That's what you should do. I mean, Kazzy knows I go live every day. You know, all of a sudden these people call me and they think, you know, like they don't have an opportunity to ever chat with me or whatever. Come into my live show, guys. That's why I'm here. I'm here to socialize. Hey, look, 46 of you agree. This is a social media platform. All right? This show. It's just another social media platform. My show is. It's one where you can socialize. Hopefully you'll choose to socialize with me and with each other. And you'll enrich yourselves because of that. However you see benefit. It doesn't matter. But come in here. Show up. Hang out. You know? Patronize the venue. You know? Hey, can you unmute me on Rumble? Billy Bong Thornton? You've been muted on Rumble? Let me see if I can do that. Shit. Let me look around and see what I can find. Oh. Blocked words, moderators, chat, comments, muting. Billy Bong Thornton, unmuted. I'm going through all of the blocked names right now on Rumble. There's a lot. I blocked a lot of people on Rumble now. News Patriot, Live Max, they're blocked. It's funny. MAGA TV official has been blocked. House of Trump has been blocked. Wow, I wonder why someone named House of Trump has been blocked. Huh. Never saw that one coming. Patriots Right podcast. You've been blocked too. Huh. That's funny. That's a lot of blocks, bro. Wow. Karen's still blocked. She'll be blocked for a while, I'm sure. Okay. So I guess I'm blocking Peter Yeep now, huh? You just come in here, Peter. Hey, Peter, before I block you. Peter, before I block you from my live show, are you still here? If you're still here, are you going to participate in my chat or are you just going to leave a link and leave? I'll give you a minute to respond, all right? And I'm going to mark it with these 10 fingers. When I see these 10 fingers come up on Rumble, on my Rumble feed, you're getting blocked. You know why? Because I know now that you've heard what I said. And you haven't responded yet. And I haven't blocked you yet. And you haven't said a fucking word. So I'm going to go ahead and block you. Sweet. Forever. It's a forever block. Billy Bong, you've been unmuted. Freedom, I have my rights back. I said something stupid a couple weeks ago. I apologize. Wow, well, I don't know what you're apologizing for, but okay. Welcome back, Billy Bong. I don't even remember. I don't remember blocking you. Actually, I was a little surprised when you asked me to unblock you on the Rumble. I was like, oh, really? Did I get you? Did you get stung? Rumblebee Bumblebee. Don't get stung. I love it. It's only 6:52 in the morning in Australia right now. How dare you be up this early watching this show? Yeah, let's get high up in this bitch. Babe, what did you think of those dabs? She can't hear me. She's got earplugs in. So if I start screaming, she won't hear it. She's probably listening to some very relaxing music.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were talking.
What'd you think of those dabs?
Good.
Good. Flavorful, right?
Yes.
Tasty. Tasty dabs.
I will take my earbuds out.
I'm surprised there aren't more blocks on Rumble, to be honest. I mean, to be perfectly honest, listen, if you ever hear anybody that says that a lot, to be honest, don't trust a fucking word they say. Ever. You know why? Because they feel the need to have to tell you that at that point, now they're going to tell you the truth. Honestly, wait. So everything else you said when you weren't saying honestly, you weren't being honest with me? Never trust those people. To be perfectly honest, no. I'm just going to talk. It's always going to be perfectly honest with you. And that's the way it is. And if I start leaving little footnotes about when I'm telling you the truth, I wouldn't believe a fucking word I said. I'm getting high up in this bitch. Getting high up in this bitch. I'm getting high up in this bitch. I'm getting high up in this bitch. Oh, I'm really excited because, you know, I play piano. I was listening to a song that I love on piano. So I'm feeling that way anytime by Journey. Which are really, it's two songs that one follows the other. It's really cool. Two songs in one. Anyhow. Yeah, I'm listening to it the other day in my vehicle going down the road. I was listening to it. And I heard something and I'm like, I don't play it like that. And then I thought to myself, what is that? I don't even know what he played right there. But that's never the way I've been playing it. And that sounded really cool. What the fuck was that? I don't know. Well, yesterday I sat down in front of the piano and I tried to figure it out. I had my cell phone in front of me and I was able to play the song on my phone and listen to it. And I listened to it and I started messing around and I fucking heard it and I got it. And I figured out what I was doing wrong. It was really fucking cool. And I learned two parts from that song that I'd never known before. And they're just You would never know. No one would ever know the difference if I played the song one way or the other. But to me, it makes a big deal. It's a big difference to me, and to me, it makes it way more dramatic because the way they played the song was very dramatic, and the way I was playing it was a little bit more straightforward. And their tension and release is unbelievable. The way they program that into the melody, it's really good. And they're masters, bro, at writing a song. It's fucking Journey. What do you expect out of them? Perfection every time. It's really, really great music. Even if you're not a fan, the music stands. I mean, you watch the last scene of fucking The Sopranos, Journey song. you know? So I had such a satisfying feeling of accomplishment for learning this little bit of music. It just felt so good. I haven't felt that since probably learning that guitar song um, from the beginning, from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. More of that, I think, I need to do more of that. It's just such a great feeling of accomplishment. And I get that feeling also outside when I'm doing stuff. The dog can get out through the little holes in the shrubs. So I went all the way out in the woods back here today and with my wheelbarrow, and I collected a whole bunch of sticks and leaves and stuff, and I filled in all the holes that he could get through. And I can put him out in the yard, and I still have to watch him, but for the most part, he can't just run right through. And that feels good too, And then I got up there and I had some more hooks to put on for the screen. We made a screened-in area. It's beautiful. I put a fan in there today. Bro, it's like you don't want to leave. You don't want to walk out of that area. You just want to stay in there. It's got a couch. It's got all these pretty creek wood everywhere. Everywhere you look, it's creek wood that I found in the creek and cleaned it up and just made it all look so pretty. And that feeling of doing things, if you don't have that in your life, if you don't have that feeling, if you only get that feeling when you beat the boss in a video game, trust me when I tell you, you are doing life wrong and you need to change tact. You need to change direction. Because that feeling of accomplishment when actually doing something and getting something done, I don't care if it's, hey man, we're getting our blankets washed. That's going to feel good. Man, these blankets smelled like my dog. And we want to use them out there on the porch. And, they smelled. We're like, oh my God, we better wash these. And even just doing some laundry, it feels good. Just doing stupid tasks. You know why? Because when we were cavemen and we were building our brains to what they are today, there was a survival need to accomplish tasks so that when you finished a task, you could eat. When you finished a task, you had fire. When you finished a task, you had a roof over your head, in the rain. It was survival. So we still have that. Don't let video games and swiping on your cell phones lull you into this false sense that you're accomplishing anything. You're accomplishing nothing. Remember that. Unless you're one of these Twitch gamers that's making a killing playing your video game, you're not accomplishing anything.
Dan?
Yes.
Honey, I'm on the phone with Duke Energy and they need to speak to you.
All right. I'm live.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on one second, please. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Thank you.
Don't answer.
do it. We'll do it. Don't worry about it. But I'm live.
Everything, okay, go ahead. Oh. Everything is a whole pencil and yellow.
Sorry about that. All right, so if you're watching, leave a thumbs up. Says Craig Allen. Todd95 joined and left. Okay, bad golfer, good drinker joined and left. Okay, they're ass swipes over there on IG. Yeah, okay, what's up, Nay? We smoking on today. Steven Beast 1000. What's up? Welcome back. Steven is Beast 1000. Welcome back to the show, bro. So, you know, we were covering, Hassan was watching a video of libs of TikTok getting owned by this journalist, and the libs of TikTok woman is wearing a troll shirt of the woman that's interviewing her crying. This is how much of a cunt this woman from Libs of TikTok is, but it doesn't matter. Taylor Lorenz is the woman who outed the woman from Libs of TikTok. So she was anonymous until Taylor Lorenz found out who she was. From, you know, good journalism. Anyway, let's go back to that. Reviewing the UN sexual violence case. Yeah, why? Dude, so CoffeeZilla now has Voidzilla. And it's weird because his takes suck. Did you guys watch that CoffeeZilla with me today where he said that all crypto is a Ponzi scheme? And that we're all idiots that are partaking in it? Okay.
Entire conservative movement is based on policing things they don't know anything about. Yeah, exactly. It's like entirely fear-based. The fear of the unknown. Bigotry is the great.
Bro, what? Why did that stop playing? It's doing that whole circle of bullshit. Oh yeah, I gotta choose a.
Greatest way to deal with said
Really? 720? You can't handle
uncertainty.
720?
You're like, oh, I don't fully personally understand this shit, but it scares me, so I don't think anyone else should even broach the subject. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's like
Dude, why do we have to deal with this? Is this gonna play or not? Hey, Cap, are you in?
if Cutie was deciding that no one can
I'm gonna just pause it a couple times
fly in a plane.
and start it and just see if that fixes it. And I closed some browser windows.
So, because she can't fly in a plane because she's terrified, no one should be able to fly in a plane. But Cutie Cinderella is not a reactionary psychopath, whereas Kaya is a reactionary psychopath, blessed with the bountiful, beautiful position of being a right-wing reactionary with hyper-individualism and American exceptionalism built to her very foundation.
All right, let's take it down to like 480.
It's the same mind that thought I can wear
This is crazy,
this
right?
Without falling.
Let's take it down to
on the
480p. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Let me check my processor.
With no exit strategy of getting up. Because honestly, when you fall on this, it's over. It's over. You gotta roll home. You just gotta have someone roll your ass back home. Because you ain't never getting back up.
Why'd you delete all your old posts?
It was just a one-time editorial decision. I stand by all my posts.
You know, I guess speaking of deleting posts, you still have a post up accusing the Uvalde shooter of being trans. Obviously that's been debunked.
Yeah, there's a community note on it.
So why not remove that post if you're so comfortable with removing posts?
Because there's a community note. I think it's clear. It's obviously it was unintentional. There was a watermark on it. It was from an account that was going around. And I'm glad there's a community note so people know that.
Do you believe if, say, a journalist posts something factually incorrect or wrong, especially about someone else, you know, somebody was to say something factually wrong about you, do you think they should remove that, or do you think they should be able to keep that content up?
Twitter is free speech.
Oh, gosh, she's so fucking stupid. I love this shit, dude. Guys, why do I always yell at you to be f***ing normal? Why? This is why. If you don't check yourself, you might sometimes wreck yourself. What I mean by this is, if you don't fucking check yourself, and you don't, like, recenter your way of existence, because it is very easy sometimes to find ourselves in, like, Discord servers or Splinter Discord servers being reaffirmed on our sometimes unhinged propositions and framework. This is a perfect representation of, like, how that kind of hug boxing, that kind of, like, desperation for a safe space ends up with you unironically thinking that you're in the right when you are, one, so wrong, and two, just so incredibly fucking dumb. Throughout this entire 53-minute interview, she comes across as unhinged and also incredibly uneducated. Why is she confident enough to film this and then have her assistant send this footage to Taylor and Lorenz? Because she thought she's doing great. Because she thinks, well, everybody hates Taylor. She's like public enemy #1 on Twitter. Myself, public enemy #2. So she thinks this is a known. She thinks she's cooking. One, because, you know, she thinks people will not receive Taylor in a positive way on Twitter, because Twitter is a right-wing shithole. And she also personally thinks that she's owning her right now in this conversation, because she's never had someone literally fucking try and even pick apart, even cynically or in a constructive manner, pick apart her argumentation.
It has to go both ways.
So you believe that people should be allowed to keep up wrong information about you and have no reason to be able to keep that up?
Free speech is free speech.
Okay, so I'm kind of curious how you square that with the letter that you sent this morning to V Sphere, claiming that, you know, you were going to try to sue her for slander. You know, if free speech is free speech, then why are you threatening your critics with lawsuits?
Well, defamation is different.
So would you call misidentifying a shooter's sexuality defamation?
No, I wouldn't. Like I said, there's already a community note on it, so I'm glad that people now...
And you admit that it's wrong, right? Was the Uvalde
Yeah,
shooter...
I wasn't the creator of that image.
46:10.
Sure, but you can imagine if somebody amplified wrong information.
You know, the media, like Washington
Billy!
places, they lie all the time. They're never held accountable. They never remove it. They lie. So,
She literally is saying major publications lie all the time and offer no...
Here, I'll go ahead. I'm just catching people up on some of this.
no, I never said that. They could... the whole thing is based off of a lie, and I think that...
She has no answer for this. This part is like one of the most damning aspects of this entire interview, and it went viral on Twitter as well.
It's gonna be 420 here, everybody. Cheers. Happy 420. No law regarding cannabis.
But I did personally think it was very interesting that this is like a fundamental plank, a fundamental position that she has. And she has
We're
so
back
much
below
conviction for it.
666.
Bloodlust, I would say. And yet, for some weird reason, she hasn't even, like, interrogated her own fucking views on the matter.
46:10 is when 7,
and hit a fucking
8,
reset.
9,
Like, Matt
boom.
Walsh would be
That's
able
my
to answer this
time
question,
to smoke.
okay? It would be
Cheers, guys. Happy
nonsensical,
420. No law
it'd
regarding
be
cannabis.
It would be
Cheers, babe.
ridiculous. But Kaya Rajcic is
Ooh, it
a
is 420. Look at that.
uniquely dumb and delusional person. That she can't even answer it.
this lie cannot be mainstream in our society. It's a lie.
And what harm is it causing, do you believe?
I like the truth. I like the truth.
Right, but I'm saying, what's the harm of people expressing their gender identity differently than you believe it to be? What harm are they causing?
Like I said, we are a nation of truth, and I seek the truth.
But that's I'm asking about the harm. What's the harm? You might believe it to be false, but what's
The harm is that there's a lie that is very mainstream and is being embedded into every institution.
I guess I'm wondering what the material harm is. Aside from it's maybe something that you disagree with, as in your version of the truth is different than their version of the truth, what is the material harm of them living their life as a woman or man or gender that you don't agree with?
Not anything that's wrong is there a material harm necessarily.
So there's no harm.
I didn't say that.
So can you name a single harm?
The way that it's pushed on the kids is low.
What's pushed on you?
Gender ideology, transgenderism.
But if they're leading happy lives, and they just are leading a
Well,
different...
there are studies that show that they're more suicidal after transition.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, there's a study out of Sweden.
That is not
Yeah.
true. That is not true.
Yeah, you can look up the study.
Well, taking into account all of the happy people that have transitioned, who are not harming anyone, you can't come up with a single material harm.
So if someone says, I'll be happier if I'm blind, should a doctor pull their eyes out?
Wait, what the fuck? Why would you compare? Wait, what? Why would you compare medical procedures that genuinely alleviate pain, whether it's psychological pain or in some instances like physical pain even, to like personally disabling yourself? That is insane. You can't say that. You could technically make that argument about every medical decision, okay? Because that's what it is.
I thought I
Gender
clicked the wrong
reassignment
shit, says Billy.
Or getting on HRT.
No,
or
we just
puberty blockers
I was catching
is
some
a
people up
medical
on
decision.
the most important
That
part.
is actually crazy.
Around the
to make
16-minute
that
mark.
comparison. But once again, there are obviously plenty of instances where there are enough people in her fan base that think that this is a brilliant argument.
He's
so it
painting
might
his
as well
fingernails
be,
black.
Right? As long as she stays.
He's so
pocket.
goth.
She goes outside of that pocket, and all of a sudden, it's like people are looking at her like, "Wait, what? That doesn't sound right at all." Unless she personally thinks being a woman is a disability. People with type 1 diabetes just don't make insulin, so why should I poison them with insulin, sweaty?
There are a lot of people
Why
that
are you
have ideas
painting your
about women,
fingernails,
about
Hassan?
What makes a woman, right?
What are you doing?
What makes a appropriate woman? How should a woman? You're saying you're against people sort of like living lives or living outside this ideology that you've constructed. Some might say, look, we're both women over the age of 25, working. I certainly don't have kids. You know, they might consider that not okay for a woman. And do you think it's up to that? Do you think it's okay for them to dictate how you live your life as a woman? Do you think it's up or
That's funny, Billy.
where does that line get drawn?
So again, you're
You guys
comparing,
notice the shirt is of Taylor.
boob jobs
She's
to,
wearing a shirt of Taylor.
Teenage girl chopping up her breasts.
Crying.
Well, first of all, teenage girls get boob jobs, but breast enhancements
The girl
are
that's interviewing her.
gender-affirming for many women. I'm asking you, why is it that people have to live under your sort of view of gender? And
It's not my view. It's science. It's fact.
It's not. This is the greatest lie that conservatives have been able to delude themselves into thinking, is that they are
Matt
in
Walsh
any way,
shit.
shape, or form defending science.
This is Matt
They
Walsh
are not.
bullshit.
And because science is oftentimes very unapproachable and hard to comprehend, a lot of people don't look any further than their own blind delusions. Conservatism always is historically anti-science to begin with, but especially in recent years, I would say in the past few decades, conservatives, and Ben Shapiro used to do this all the fucking time, adopted the motto that, like, facts not feelings. We are actually the ones with the facts. And it's really interesting because they are literally operating on feelings. Nothing that they advocate for is backed by science. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority of people who have the appropriate information on this matter will voluntarily go out of their way to inform the public against their deliberate efforts to misinform the public. It is wild, though, because while in the past I feel like you just say the Bible told me so and that's the reason, right? Nowadays, at least conservatives have adopted the position that this is not like a biblical reason, even though in reality the reasoning does come from the Bible for them. It is quite interesting that they have maintained the position that they are the ones who are actually presenting real science, especially when it comes to gender. It's wild. I'm doing a PhD in bioinformatics, and everything we know about genetics show gender is non-binary. I'm tired of transphobes using my own field to push bullshit. I mean, it's funny. They deny climate science and have done for a very long time. They deny the science on gender and biology while simultaneously claiming that they are the ones who are championing biology, which is ridiculous. They deny the science on...
He paints his fingernails because he's not his own genuine person. Instead, he joins his peers' stupid fashion trends to fit in. Monkey see, monkey do. NPC behavior. I thought he was just trying to be goth. Like fitting into the goth scene, painting his fingernails black. Trying to be, goth. I don't know.
COVID, on its impact on a population. They deny the science on vaccines. They deny the science on everything. And yet, we're supposed to sit...
How old was this woman? She was 26. So he's 30 years old, Hassan?
there and be like, yeah, no, the dumbest motherfuckers you've ever seen
He's
are
young.
hyping each other up, so
He's
we
young.
gotta sit there and act like they have anything worth a damn to say. I guess if enough people
If he
are
was
flat
older, though,
earthers,
I'd be
then,
like,
yeah,
dude.
we just gotta act like flat earthers have a point or something? Like, I don't know.
And if we're talking biology, there's a spectrum of gender. There's people that are intersex.
That is a rare medical condition.
Is not a rare medical condition. Intersex is as rare a medical condition as, like, being a redhead is, okay? There are more intersex people on the planet than there are Jewish people. There are more intersex people on the planet than there are redheads. What the fuck are we talking about here?
What about all these happy trans people that are living their lives? They're not harming anyone. What harm are they doing by living their life as a woman who medically transitioned? They're adults. You know, I understand you have problems with kids, but with adult trans people, what's the harm that they're doing to society?
To society, they're spreading a lie that is affecting children also.
So you just believe gender is a lie. And what if somebody said to
Trans, you can't change your gender.
And what if somebody said to you, you know, you're not a real woman? You're not a real woman because maybe you don't meet these certain specific definitions of femininity.
That's fine. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want.
But what if you would be forced to live by that system? Do you think it's fair that you would, be forced
Is that
to live?
based in like science?
Well, I don't think any of it's really based in science.
Well, it is.
Gender
There are
is a
two sexes.
social construct.
Well, gender is actually made up.
Exactly. Yes, we
by
agree on
someone
this.
who-
We agree.
by a child predator, by a pedophile.
We don't agree.
Yeah,
We don't agree on
so he made up gender, and now they conflate the two, and they use it.
Well, okay, so, like, what? Men and women didn't exist then before the fucking dude? Like, what do you mean? I mean, this is a person who literally thinks that, like, stochastic terror was a designation that was created specifically for her. So, she's saying one guy invented gender is so funny. Like, there's been a concept of third gender in India long before, in many other places around the planet, as a matter of fact. Long before any fucking doctor or anyone that she thinks invented the concept of gender. In America, with Native Americans, Two-Spirit. The easiest way to describe gender being a social construct is literally look at any other culture outside of the United States of America, or fuck it, look at the United States of America. We are a fucking melting pot. There's hella people from other places. Look at the way people from other cultures and other countries present themselves. It's the clothes that you wear. It's the way that you express yourself. One quick example is like what is considered as like peak of like
Billy
sexy
Bob Thornton had a
manhood
goth
in place
phase when
like
he was
Korea
14.
versus I don't
Goth,
know, peak
same,
sexy manhood
that
in like
goth
a
girl
Latin
has great
American
tits, let's
country
go.
or the United States of
hot
America, as a
topic,
matter
quick.
of fact. The concept of gender has changed, like gender
Hot topic, do
norms
they
have
still have
changed
those
dramatically
stores, lol?
throughout time, even in this country.
Punk rock
Look at the fucking
haircuts,
founding
and
fathers. Those motherfuckers were wearing powdered wigs and shit.
all together.
The fuck are we talking about?
Give 'em the shot,
Dudes were
close
wearing
those sleeves.
skirts. Dudes were wearing high
Yeah,
heels
there's still
and,
a hot
and
topic
makeup
in the
and
Spencer's
powdered
here.
wigs. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
You got a
Does
ball,
that not
Billy?
signal anything in your mind? Like, that doesn't help you understand that this is all like completely made up?
You know, a lot of LGBTQ people say that your posts cause an enormous amount of pain. How does that make you feel?
How does it make you feel that your reporting on me causes me pain?
I feel sad for that, honestly. Yeah.
So would you stop?
No, I'm a journalist and you're a public figure. But I'm just talking about, these non-public figures, right? These non-public figures that
Well,
are...
if you put yourself out there on a public platform, then you're kind of making
So
yourself
anybody
public.
that posts on social media is a public figure, in your mind?
If you're putting your videos out there with the intention that it should go viral, you want publicity.
So if somebody's posting on social media, which inherently posting on social media, you're looking for attention, right? You're saying that meets the bar for a public figure?
Well, first of all, a lot of the people I post about are actually in positions that are public.
But
Teachers,
I'm talking about the people that
doctors.
haven't, right? The individual private citizens that you've posted who are not, I would argue they're not public figures. You're saying they are public figures because they're posting on social media?
They want to be public. They're public. They're going
One
on a
mall
public
left,
platform
Billy.
and publicly posting a video on a
West
social
Town.
media site that is
East
meant
Town.
for your videos to go
It's on
viral.
Amazon warehouse.
And what about Twitter? Would you consider Twitter as well a platform where stuff is meant to go viral?
Every social media. If someone posts something on social media,
I don't think she understands that she's like personally walking into a trap. I guess
Admitting that
where,
she's
the point
a
is,
public figure.
You are bringing about death threats upon like random individuals while simultaneously complaining about like death threats that you receive. Shouldn't you be the first person to not put the spotlight on others if you personally recognize it? Like you recognize the damaging impact of it?
Let's talk about drag shows. You've come out a lot about, you're very against drag shows. Can you give any examples of children being harmed from drag shows?
yeah, there was one where this mom was saying that her kid decided to be non-binary after watching the drag show, and then the drag queen helped the kid buy like new clothes to be non-binary.
And you consider that harmful?
Yeah, well, because non-binary is made up. Like you can't. There's no such thing as non-binary.
Okay, first of all, once again, you can't be talking about what people can and can't wear, as you are currently wearing a jort. Not even a jort, but a just skirt, a pant, a jean pant, a singular pant of jean. I will take anyone else's a jert, I think. I will take anyone else's opinion on what people should and shouldn't wear over whatever the fuck you got going on.
It's a fucking it's an extended gaucho. Is what that is, and it's fucking too skinny and it's fucked up and stupid.
Lady, get the fuck out of here. Half a Jinko. Exactly.
Oh my god.
Is she wearing a t-shirt of herself crying? No, she's wearing a t-shirt of Taylor Lorenz crying.
It's like a
which
single
also is very normal
pants
stuff.
leg
It's just
jeans.
super normal to do.
And
It's
then
like
just leave the kid
jeans
on
with a
path,
single pants leg.
Where probably they'll end up in the hospital getting some other body parts chopped off.
You seem very against plastic surgery. Are you against?
Well, I'm against exchange surgeries.
What about women that want to get their boobs done, want to get their nose done, want to get cheek
We're
implants?
just gonna go in circles.
I'm just curious.
But it's good to note that you're comparing nose jobs to teen girls getting their breast chopped off.
Well, teen girls also get boob jobs to make their breasts bigger, right? So both are gender affirming in different ways. You seem very obsessed with one and not interested in the other. So that's kind of what I'm interested in. And I guess I don't really have.
Wait, she's not openly anti-breast surgery for, like, she thinks it's great? That's crazy. Listen, when you live in Los Angeles, as she did, she probably grew up with a lot of teenagers that went and got rhinoplasties and boob jobs at the age of 16.
But she's thinking about it that way.
Obviously, she can't be out here fucking talking shit about that. You know what I mean?
Well, you see, she's totally, even I would admit that there's a difference. So it's kind of a straw man point, Hassan. Otherwise, I think it was pretty good. We did watch the whole thing before. I didn't realize that. I totally remember all that. Now I remember it. But I think it was good. He's real funny with them painted fingernails. All the terrible arguments used to justify genocide.
That point, or at any point in a decades-long occupation. Great point, thanks! So you might be wondering why the people in Gaza don't simply leave instead of acting as proximity human shields. Well, shucks, I have an answer. But first, and this is truly messed up, we have to break for ads. My goodness, inappropriate. By horse, it's Cody. Hey now, if Palestinians don't want to die, why the heck don't they just leave?
They have actually given civilians in Gaza a list, a map. It's online, where a list of areas where they can go to be more safe. There's not too many modern militaries in advance of conducting operations that would actually do that. So they are making an effort to at least inform the civilian population about where to go and where to avoid.
And one has to ask, yes?
Well, no, one has to ask this, you fucking cunt. How'd you distribute these maps to all the people in Gaza? Did you go in there and distribute all the maps? You fucking cunts, motherfucking lying cunt. Fucking cunts.
They had ample opportunity to leave. I don't know what happened. I don't have the specific circumstances. I know there's deadly combat going on now in the north, still between these IDF and Hamas terrorists, yes? And we don't want to see anyone caught up in the crossfire, but why didn't they heed the advice and leave the area?
You can't blame them. There's now
I don't blame them.
Seems reasonable, right? Let's say I fart in a room. This room, right now, without telling anyone. Well, that's rude. But if I announce that I will be farting in the room, then give people ample time to leave, well then, if they don't leave, it's on them, right? They must be some kind of fart perverts. Now, replace my farts with bombs and this room with the homes of the people being asked to leave. Well, that actually doesn't seem reasonable now.
That's right, it is bullshit, Tony.
Why don't Palestinian civilians just evacuate?
It's armpit face, says Billy.
So let's start with the basics.
G
What
and
exactly
COS are like
these
300
evacuation
now.
orders? On October
Are those
13,
Gs?
2023, the Israeli military ordered more than 1
Every
million
cell tower
Palestinians in northern
system
Gaza
sounds
to
better.
move to
Keep
South
running.
Gaza within 24 hours. If you think about that for more than
Hey,
a
the
second,
kind
you
brew.
might notice that it's logistically impossible to move that many people in that
Hey, little
time.
Benny 87,
For
what's
example,
up?
Some of those people are in hospitals
Brudicon,
and
what's
therefore
up?
are in
Oh,
conditions
here.
that would mean literal death if they are moved. But even if everyone in Gaza
You guys
did
that are watching
safely
over there
evacuate
on,
to the south, apparently that
Instagram.
still could mean death. Because according to the South African ICJ court case and the UN, they were, quote, bombed again in the south and told to flee once again further south or the southwest, where they are reduced to living in makeshift tents in camps with no water, sanitation, or other facilities. In other words, if you don't evacuate, you get bombed. And if you do evacuate, you also get bombed, with, quote, numerous reported instances of shelling along the routes and of other violence by Israeli forces against evacuating Palestinian civilians, and continued bombing south of Wadi Gaza throughout this time, killing many Palestinians who evacuated. So, yes, technically they called for an evacuation, the way Jigsaw gives people the means to escape his traps. Perhaps you heard of that absolutely heartbreaking story in the Washington Post about an entire family being killed while trying to evacuate, including both parents, 3 teenagers, an 11-year-old, and a 4-year-old. The final survivor was named Hind, who spoke with phone dispatchers before also being killed, but not before the paramedics attempting to rescue her were also wiped out in the attack. Hind was 6 years old. I'm not telling you this to be a bummer, but rather to paint a picture as to why a family in Palestine might think it's safer to simply stay inside rather than evacuate their home. Because there are so many stories like this of people trying to flee the war zone and being picked off by gunfire, which causes paramedics to try and reach them, only to also be killed. But hey, Israeli spokesperson Mark Regev says that this is just Palestinians voting with their feet.
The overwhelming majority of the population of the northern Gaza Strip has fled, has heeded our advice, have voted with their feet, and have vacated the area.
You see how manipulative that framing is? If by fleeing these citizens have somehow voted against Hamas, then it's nice and easy to flip that and say that people who stayed have also voted. But there's no voting here. These people aren't making political choices. They are just trying to survive. And right now, it seems just as likely that evacuating will kill you. To quote the UN Special Rapporteur on the human rights of internally displaced persons, Israel has reneged on promises of safety made to those who complied with its order to evacuate northern Gaza. Israel is also bombing refugee camps to which Palestinians are fleeing to try to avoid the bombings. On Christmas Eve, 86 people were killed in Al-Maghazi refugee camp in the middle area after Israel's military ordered civilians to move from south of Wadi Gaza to middle Gaza. The UN Secretary General said, quote, "The people of Gaza are being told to move like human pinballs, ricocheting between ever smaller slivers of the south without any of the basics for survival. Even when those fleeing aren't bombed or shot, injured people are being forced to evacuate on foot, where they risk dying of their injuries. Oftentimes, they have to walk for miles to get any
I know
help.
how you guys
That
feel,
includes a
Billy,
boy
Greg.
that, according to UNICEF,
Trust me.
whose leg had been blown off in the violence.
I share
who
the
had spent
sentiment.
3 or 4 days trying to reach the south, delayed by checkpoints. Ultimately, these evacuation orders are just a way for them to feel like they're being compassionate while avoiding any blame for civilian deaths. And it's not new. A UN Human Rights Council report in 2015
Marked
found,
into
quote,
us
warnings
skaters,
to
but you
evacuate
couldn't
were meant
skate in
to
them,
create sterile combat
Mom
zones,
taught them and we
the
were
people
stuck
remaining in
wearing
the
them.
area would no longer be considered civilians, and thus
trying to
benefit
find a way
from
to
the
donate to
protection afforded by
Palestinians.
their civilian status. The HRC backed up this claim with a statement from the Israeli head of the doctrine desk at the Infantry Corps headquarters, who had said, quote, "In peacetime security, soldiers stand facing a civilian population, but in wartime, there is no civilian population, just an enemy." Yeah, I imagine it's way easier to reduce civilian deaths when you can just reclassify them as enemies. That's like how I eat a bag of Doritos kale for lunch. But hold on. It's not like the IDF is purposefully trying to kill civilians. Certainly if we try to debunk a claim like that, we'll get nowhere. At least the IDF isn't trying to kill civilians. Oh, I guess that's something we actually have to address. Not a great sign.
זירות אחרות, זה חשוב לעשות, כי אין לנו שום רצון לפגוע באוכלוסייה.
That's Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Being him, he's a pretty big part of this. And while it's a little sus to have to go out of your way to say you're not trying to kill civilians, I don't have a way to finish that sentence. Not just him, though. The U.S. State Department has assured us the IDF isn't purposefully trying to kill civilians either.
I have not seen evidence that they are intentionally killing civilians. We believe that far too many civilians have been killed. But again, this goes back to the underlying problem of this entire situation, which is that Hamas has embedded itself inside
He looks like
civilians.
Eddie
Darn you,
Munster.
Hamas.
He's
How
got
dare
that
you
Eddie
make
Munster
us kill
widow
civilians,
speak.
which we super don't want to do, thank you very much. Put us down for no. Check off the no box for killing civilians. That does it. So, is it truly unintentional and just an extremely incompetent military that manages to accidentally kill at least 60% civilian targets? I didn't pull out a number. 61 is literally the percentage of civilians being killed from airstrikes, according to Haaretz. Which explains why they have to put out official pressers stating that they in fact aren't trying to kill innocent people. Like, holy shit, that's a sitcom joke with a character saying something like, "Are you trying to hit me in the face with your dick?" or something like that. They usually don't have dicks in sitcoms. Okay, pivoting back to the question I still can't believe we have to ask. Are they trying to kill civilians? It's starting to look like a hard maybe. Yeah, a sprinkle of yes. A video captured by a citizen journalist on January 22nd and broadcast on CNN showed footage of a group of unarmed Palestinians holding a white flag of surrender. An Israeli tank was shown positioned nearby, and then one of the men was shot and killed. We're going to show a brief clip of them waving the flag, but not of them being shot, because of course we're not going to show that. Yeah, there's kind of no way to see those people literally waving a white flag and mistake it for aggression. Maybe they thought the flag was a ghost? Anyway, the Israeli military says it's reviewing the footage, so I'm sure it'll all work out. But was this just a one-off mistake? Was it somehow Hamas hiding behind the Israeli tank, shooting their own civilians to make Israel look bad? Well, we actually do have more evidence that the Israeli military is aware that they are killing civilians, and at the very least, doing nothing to change that. and it stems from another claim often used to defend Israel's military actions, that Israel has advanced, targeted weaponry and uses AI to pick targets, in theory, to reduce civilian casualties. But honestly, it's more about efficiency. They're calling this AI the gospel because, sure, I guess we all want to live in a Mission Impossible film. But hey, if they have this advanced AI to pick where to bomb, why is there still a 60% civilian casualty rate? Could it have something to do with the fact that nearly half of the bombs Israel has dropped have been unguided bombs, according to U.S. intelligence? It's hard to reconcile the idea that Israel's bombing is incredibly precise and selective when it also isn't that. And so one independent Israeli magazine looked into this. Their reporter, Yuval Abraham, got in touch with anonymous sources in the Israeli military, investigating the AI system used to select bombing targets in Gaza. According to the article, the Israeli military has, quote, significantly expanded its bombing of targets that are not distinctly military in nature. Targets include private residences, public buildings, infrastructure, and high-rise apartments. Sources interviewed within the Israeli intelligence community said that the Israeli military defines these targets as power targets, intended to create a shock that will lead civilians to put pressure on Hamas. So, like, terrorism. Got it. You're doing a terrorism. Just say that. Just say it's terrorism. In other words, it really sounds like they are targeting civilians, or at least being so loose with their targeting that they know civilians will die and want them to die to deter Hamas. And that would certainly explain why there are so many civilian deaths, at least according to this report. At the very least, they simply don't care how many people die if it also kills members of Hamas. According to sources, the number of predicted civilian deaths is, quote, calculated and known in advance to the Army's intelligence units, who also know shortly before carrying out an attack roughly how many civilians are certain to be killed, and that the Israeli military command knowingly approved the killing of hundreds of Palestinian civilians in an attempt to assassinate a single top Hamas military commander. Another source told them about, quote, cases in which we shell based on a wide cellular pinpointing of where the target is, killing civilians. This is often done to save time instead of doing a little more work to get a more accurate pinpointing. Yeah, we could stop killing children and other civilians, but it's hard. We got a lot of bombs on our plate already. Sure, man, Hamas bad. Cody no like Hamas. Back to the IDF war crimes.
Kind, are you still there? It says, oh yeah, it says one person watching.
A Human Rights Commission investigation into the 2014 Gaza war found, quote, the sheer number of shells fired, as well as the reported dropping of over 100 one-ton bombs in a short period of time in a densely populated area, raise questions as to the respect by the IDF of the rules of distinction, precautions, and proportionality. These methods and means employed by the IDF could not, in such a small and densely populated area, be directed at a specific military target, and could not adequately distinguish between civilians and civilian objects and military objectives. I mean, 60% It's hard to pretend that's an accident. Nor is it easy to overlook the disproportionate number of journalists who have been killed. According to the ICJ court documents, Palestinian journalists have been killed at a higher rate than any war or conflict in the past century. After only 2 months, more journalists were killed in the current conflict than were killed during all of World War II. If these estimates are accurate, the total death toll is at least 100, which would account for over 70% of the journalists killed in the entire world in 2023. We also didn't mention all the civilians in Gaza who are also being detained en masse. Even Israeli newspapers admit that the majority of those detained and stripped in Gaza are not militants. The South African ICJ case against Israel states, large numbers of Palestinian civilians, including children, have reportedly been arrested, blindfolded, forced to undress and remain outside in the cold weather before being forced onto trucks and taken to unknown locations. This includes medics and first responders who have been detained and held incommunicado. These detentions aren't exactly what you would call due process either. According to the ICJ case, Palestinian civilians who have been detained report inhumane conditions such as deprivation of food, water, shelter, and access to toilets. And evidence includes video footage showing bruises and burns on the bodies of detainees. So, does Prime Minister Netanyahu really want to avoid targeting civilians? I don't know, man. Does it fucking matter what he wants? He's doing it either way. And that's either because he's grossly incompetent or just plain lying. Anyway, I'm very calm. This was fun. Jimmy John's really missed out on this episode to sponsor it. So get on the phone, Jimmy John's. But you know who didn't miss out? This next sponsor. Boy, did they not miss out.
Hello, my sweet baby crabs. You're in the ad space now. The episode cannot hurt you here. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up, and by that I do mean it has already happened. And of course, you know what that means. It means ball stuff. Apparently. And MeUndies can help balls look their best with their contoured pouch and ball caddy. It's a caddy for your balls to make them look like a perfect pair of curled up kittens. And listen, maybe it's not the balls.
Talk about the
You're
bigger
welcome.
picture. Starting with the next argument that Israel has to get the hostages back and will do almost everything to get them back. Israel has to get the hostages back. Right. That's fair. So, for the record, I also would like the hostages to get back to their families. And so when I bring up this point, I'm not questioning the importance of actually rescuing the hostages, but rather asking what the best way to do that is.
We are going to do everything we can to bring them back as quickly as possible.
Again, I agree. So let's think about this. Will heavy bombings and gunfire in the areas where hostages are kept actually help save the hostages? Unfortunately, no. The shoot people waving a white flag first, ask questions later philosophy means that the IDF has already killed at least 3 Israeli hostages, who were in fact waving a white flag and begging for help in Hebrew. Boy, they're really scared of ghosts, I guess. At least 32 other hostages are dead. Some likely died from their injuries sustained during their kidnapping. But the deaths of others are unconfirmed, and has left many families of hostages worried the Israeli military campaign is endangering the hostages' lives. There have also been reports of Israeli military plans to flood tunnels in Gaza with seawater, which would not only contaminate Gaza's soil, but, wouldn't this potentially kill Israeli hostages? They claim they have intel on hostage locations and thus wouldn't drown them in this flooding plan. But then why did they shoot those 3 Israeli hostages? Did their intel just happen to not cover those hostages? As we just saw in that last segment, the IDF hasn't been at all exact in their bombings and have shown little regard for civilian deaths. They also seem to believe Hamas is using people as proximity shields, so it would stand to reason that they would think they'd use the hostages as proximity shields, perhaps in these places that they are wildly bombing. This is all to say that they really don't seem that concerned with the hostages, or really any collateral damage. Recently, 2 Israeli soldiers being held hostage by Hamas were found dead by the IDF in an area of tunnels that they had recently attacked. According to the Jerusalem Post, a right-wing Israeli paper, an IDF investigation found that they were unaware of hostages in those tunnels. Meanwhile, the mother of one of the soldiers claims he was killed by the IDF itself when they used poison gas to flood the tunnel. I know that it's important for there to be an investigation and not to only rely on the words of someone who's grieving their son. But a pathologist and an IDF investigation found no signs of gunshot wounds or trauma on the body. meaning that it is possible they died from suffocation related to a gas attack. I'm not saying the IDF definitely killed their own man, but rather pointing out that they've been so reckless that they can't say for sure if they did or not. Like, if I woke up from a bender and didn't know if it was my or someone else's turd in the waffle iron, that doesn't make me a responsible drinker. So if the attacks on Gaza are to get the hostages back, they're doing a bad job at that. What seems more likely is that the hostages are being used as emotional leverage to exact revenge, or even an ethnic cleansing. And if those hostages have to die, that's worth it, at least according to Israeli leadership, who seem to see these human lives as poker chips. This couldn't be made more clear by simply looking at the seemingly most effective method of actually freeing the hostages. You may notice that more hostages were released during a ceasefire than anything else. 105 hostages were released in the prisoner exchange deal, whereas 3 hostages were rescued by the IDF. 3 were also killed by the IDF. The point being, if you care about the hostages, it seems like your best bet would be to call for a ceasefire.
But do you condemn
And
Hamas?
how? Some might argue that it is Hamas's fault in the first place that these hostages are in danger, and they would be correct, but that doesn't suddenly absolve the IDF of culpability when they claim this whole war is to get the hostages back, and then also kill or endanger the hostages in wanton attacks. Perhaps this sentiment was best stated by a former hostage who said, quote, "I'm very afraid and very concerned that if you continue with this line of destroying Hamas, there won't be any hostages left to release." So maybe it's not about the hostages or saving civilians. Maybe they don't care about that at all. But let's say, for fun, that you're some kind of absolute serial killer who doesn't care about all of these deaths. And to you, it's all justified so long as we destroy the enemy.
We have got to destroy completely Hamas's ability to ever do this again. If they think that by displaying the hostages or that hostages are going to help them in this respect, they're wrong. It's clear that they are an evil that absolutely needs to be truly defeated.
Okay, so this is the Jedi versus Empire, got it. Otherwise known as the ends justifying the means. To make an omelet, gotta break eggs and poop in a waffle iron and so on. See, the argument here is that, sure, there are some civilian deaths, 60%, but that pales in comparison to letting Hamas win. It's like in the hit show House, where they let Dr. Housey and House eat a patient or two because it sustains him in order to practice medicine. You get it.
It sustains him.
We can do a title for it. We must defeat Hamas no matter what. Let's start really simple. What does it mean to defeat or destroy an enemy? I'd reckon it means to create a situation where the enemy doesn't exist anymore. Right? Like going back to Star Wars, the object is to root out the evil at the core, which they did when the Emperor was killed in Return of the Jedi, and then they stopped making any sequels after that. Glad that's where the series ended. Nobody somehow returned. And so, while this is very basic, it stands to reason the same goal of Hamas. In order to defeat them, we must have no more of Hamas. So
I'm having connection issues, guys. I'm going to go ahead and kill it. We'll kill that feed. I just want to say, man, it's great to have 50 of you here. If there's 52 people watching right now, it's fantastic. It's just amazing. Amazing. I'm just so glad to see so many of you here. I hope you guys all give me thumbs ups over there on Rumble and on YouTube. And if you're on Rumble, make sure you come to YouTube and make sure you're still subscribed to the main channel on YouTube. Because they delete people every day. Check your status over there. I'm at Nays Garden on Twitter. Remember that as well, guys. Do you want to shimmy me? You wanna shimmy me? Let's see a yes and a yes. A yes and a yes. Oh, and the music starts playing right on cue for Schmiggy Man. Schmiggy Man, Schmiggy Man, and Schmiggy Man. Schmiggy Man, and Schmiggy Schmiggy Man. Schmiggy Man, and Schmiggy. Schmiggy, Schmiggy, Schmig, Schmig. Schmig, schmig, schmiggy, schmiggy, schmig. You guys like my song? Come on. Face doesn't match. What do you mean face doesn't match? Oh, let's see. There's someone at the front door. Schmiggy-beer and schmiggy-beer. Schmiggy-beer and schmiggy-beer. Schmiggity-schmiggy-beer. I have to put butane in this torch. For certain. Very good though. Okay, that is beautiful. So it's glowing, it's glowing, it's glowing, it's glowing, it's orange, 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 it's orange. Ah, mother, mumsky, mother. All right, let's see here. 28, we're going to do 29, 20, 29, 20. Hey now, let's stop that. Goodbye. You guys ready? Schmiggy man. All 50 of you, or all 50 of you ready to schmiggy man? It's kind of exciting having 50 people here. It's more, actually. If DeKine Brew is still there and Chris Anderson is still there. What did I say? Did I type it in? I didn't type it in. Oh! I said 29 something. 29:20. Oh, I remembered it. 29:20. Yes, it came back to me. We're ready for the perfect temperature, for the perfect schmiggy man. Ready for the perfect temperature, for the perfect schmiggy man. You guys ready? 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. No law regarding cannabis, everybody. That's for real, though. No law regarding cannabis. Okay, you crazy kids. Let's do something later. All right, shall we? I will see you on the next show, and I really do appreciate you guys so much. So many of you coming in here, and I did feel it in the chat, man. The chat was awesome. So please try to make more shows, guys, and I'll see you back here on the next one. Turn on your notifications. Wow, guys, it's unreal. It's unreal how many people are here. All right, thank you so much. You guys take care. Bye now. And I'm at Nay's Garden on Twitter, at Nay's Garden on YouTube, Nay's Garden on Rumble. Please leave me thumbs ups and go to the YouTube channel and make sure you're still subscribed or subscribe to the main channel, which has got 25,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'd appreciate that. Thank you, guys.